Okay, part-time prepper with a 22 Midsummer ammo update. And let's take a look. I have the famous hand model help me in this video. We're going to do the big box first there. There you go. That's the American Eagle 22. Now we got that at Cabela's just about a week ago. And 400 rounds. And it was $23.99. Now, we got there, and it was a noon on a Monday, and the store is actually fairly empty. It was actually the emptiest I ever saw at Cabela's. We drive there. It's about an hour and a half away from our home, but we have a relative that we can see maybe on a bi-monthly basis down there, and we'll stop by because it's right on the way. We actually pass it. And we walked in, and I went to the ammo counter, and I was looking for the 22. I started looking at 22 Magnum, and someone asked the man there, "Do you have any 22 long rifle?" He said, "Yeah, right over to your left." And there was actually only 4 boxes of this. And the funny part about it is I turned, and it was like 4 hands came out of nowhere, and they snatched the boxes up. But then the man said he had one more case in the back, and we stood in line, and of course you could only buy one at a time, and I got one, and that was that. But it was so funny the way when someone mentioned it that all these hands came out of nowhere. I didn't realize there was 4 people by me. But so that was that. Now the small boxes of 22, again American Eagle, 38 grain, hollow point. We got at Dick's. Again, just within the last week or two, because I've really, I'd say for the last 2 months, have been pretty much shut out. So at least where I live here in the Keystone State, it's still pretty dry, 22 ammo. I've called our 3 local Walmarts almost once a week. They've never had any recently. Once they had some 22 short. And again, about 3 or 4 other places, gun shops, and mostly getting shut out. But that was at Dick's. It was a let me see if I get that right, $2.49 a box. Again, you could only buy 2 at a time, so we made a few trips because we had to go up there. It's not too far from our place of employment, and they had them all week long, actually, and they just ran out after about a week and a half. And they were $2.49 a box, so actually, and there's only 40 in a box. So if you get 10 boxes of that, you basically would only spend $1 more than if you bought the large box, which I had bought at Cabela's. And last year, and I got this about a month ago, finally at one of my local gun shops had some CCI subsonic, which were $8.95 per 100 rounds. It seemed a little bit high to me. I did actually buy 4 of them, and we did a shooting video a little bit ago. You could see with my daughter and Mr. VA, and we used some of that up, but it was $8.95 per 100 rounds, and he only had 8 and I bought 4. There was no limit at the gun shop. You could buy as much as he had. And so at least in my part of the country, I would say the shortage continues, although it seems just to drop better. But there's still not, I would not say, any plentiful amount of 22 long rifle still to be had, at least in my area. So I wish you a happy night and a good tomorrow. Feel free to leave any comments or suggestions. Have a good night.